Good evening. I would like to welcome you to the Lynn School Committee debate sponsored by the Highlands Coalition. For those who do not know, the Highlands Coalition, which regularly meets here at the Ford School, is a community organization that works with neighbors in order to improve the Highlands area. My name is Cleo Hereford, and I will be moderating this debate. Keeping time for this event are Highlands residents and coalition members Wendy Joseph and Arita Hereford. The rules for the debate are as follows. Each candidate will be allowed a 2-minute introduction. Candidates will speak in order from the audience's left to right, starting with Mrs. Patricia Capano. The timekeeper will alert you 30 seconds before time is up with a yellow card, and again when time is finished with a yellow card. Next, I will ask questions which have either been submitted anonymously by voters in the community or developed by the Highlands Coalition. The second person in order will answer first. The question will then pass to the candidate's right until each person has had an opportunity to speak. Speaking order will start with the third person, then the fourth person, and so forth until all of the questions have been asked. Each candidate has 90 seconds to answer. The previously mentioned timekeeping methods will apply. Following the question and answer portion of the debate, each candidate in order from the audience's right to left, starting with Mr. Vincent Spirito, will be allowed a 2 minutes closing remarks. Again, timekeeping methods will apply. We'll begin with 2-minute introductions, starting with Mrs. Patricia Capano.
Okay, I just didn't hear it myself. Good evening. The question put forward is for me to tell you who I am in 2 minutes. It's a quick history of who I've been in this city for the past 50-something years. I am a lifelong resident of the city of Lynn. My husband is a lifelong resident and a business owner in the city of Lynn. My 3 children, their early education in their life in Lynn is giving to and taking from the community as partners. My 3 sons are the reason that I initially ran the school committee. In my past, I have attended Northern Essex Community College and then on to Salem State College. I have a strong working relationship as a parent and as a school committee member with the special ed departments and other departments that need to run our schools. My oldest son was serviced with the special ed department from pre-K through the 22-year-old transition, and he is presently a second-year student at North Shore Community College. I have served with 4 superintendents, each who have made positive gains and changes for our schools. I have been the vice chair for the past 8 years. Presently, I am serving on the curriculum, the negotiating, and the personnel subcommittees. I presently serve as an advocate at Tufts New England Medical Center for children with disabilities and parents living with disabilities and trauma with their children. It is through these experiences that I have become a strong advocate for your students. I have learned how to advocate, allocate, mediate, and negotiate. It is in these roles that have given me the key understanding on how to serve the children, the parents, and the staff of this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Dolores DeFilippo, and first of all, I'd like to thank the Highland Coalition for hosting this event and the Ford School, and Dr. Crane, as well as Lynn Cam, I believe, is videoing this event. And it's a pleasure to be here. I am a parent of a child currently in the 2nd grade. My family has been in this city for well over 100 years. I have a master's in education. I'm an educator at Revere High School, and I also work at MGH Revere, and I am a licensed social worker. I also have a bachelor's in criminal justice. My previous experience has been working with families for well over 27 years that have been in crisis intervention, implementing after-school programs, middle school programs, and currently I am a drug and alcohol awareness prevention educator. I also work within the community in the city of Revere, assisting the school department and the city with developing community programs so that we have more awareness that's happening in the city of Revere. One of the reasons why I decided to run for school committee in the city of Lynn is specifically because what I was seeing, and I was not happy as a parent, and I felt that parent involvement needed to happen more, that we needed to feel more involved in what was happening with our children and what is not happening with our children. I'm currently on the PTO at the Shoemaker School where my son attends. I was a clinical director for 3 years in the city of Lynn, so I was able to see some of the things that were happening and some of the things that were not happening. And I would love to be a member of your school committee to help facilitate bringing some of these programs forward and making sure that the parents in the community is completely involved. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Donna Capola, and I'm a member presently of the Lynn School Committee for 12 years. I'm married to my husband, Harry, parent of 4 children. All of them attended Lynn schools, and all 4 of them have graduated from Lynn Classical High School. I'm a grandparent to 3 children. Like most of you, I work 2 jobs. I work at a daycare center as a case manager for teen parents. And I also work on the weekends in a group home for adults that are developmentally delayed. I have enjoyed serving on the school committee. When I first ran, I had no interest in politics, but I attended school committee meetings. I enjoyed attending them, but I was disappointed in what I had seen and what was being offered, and at that moment I decided that I think that I was going to run for school committee and sit on committee and make a change. I feel as though I have. I have graduated from North Shore Community College in the UMass Boston, and I sit on Lynn Community Connections Coalition as a board member and a past board member of My Brother's Table. And I'm here to let you know where I stand on a lot of issues. Thank you.
Good evening. ¿Cómo están? Buenas noches. Me gustaría decirle que antes todo, si no hablo en español es porque los minutos que tenemos son muy pocos y tengo que hacerlo en inglés. Pero en realidad lo respeto y necesito su apoyo. My name is Maria Carrasco, and the reason that people said why I became a school committee member or why I decided to run for a school committee, it was because I was always helping the community. I was always there for them. But overall, I believe in the public education. I had 3 children, and the 3 of them attended public school from the 1st grade to graduate from high school. I have also grandchildren, and 3 of them attended public school, and 1 just graduated 2 years ago from English high school. I believe that we should have representation in our official elected, because as you can see, this is what we call diversity. I see here Lynn. You are Lynn. I've been member, and I am still member of many different organizations, and they are all grassroots organizations, like Lynn Unite for Change, the Highland Coalition, Neighbor to Neighbor, CMCC, Gray House, because my daughter attended Gray House since she was in 1st grade to 6th grade, and after school program, because we believe in after school, but overall quality after school program. And I ask you please to support me. Thank you.
Hi everyone. I'd like to thank the Highland Coalition, Dr. Crane, and thank you all for coming out tonight. My name is Rick Stabbard. I'm currently serving my 1st term as a member of the Lynn School Committee, and I'll tell you, I love this job. I love what I've seen and the experiences that I've gained and learned throughout the past 22 months. I'm a lifelong Lynn resident and a product of the Lynn Public Schools. Together with my wife, we are the proud parents of 2 beautiful daughters, both of whom have been educated in Lynn Public Schools from kindergarten throughout. My oldest, Jess, is a graduate of English, currently a student at Northeastern University, and my youngest, Steph, is a senior at Lynn English this year. I graduated from Lynn Tech. 2 years after I graduated at the age of 19, I began my own business. During 14 of those years, I had the privilege of being able to return to Tech and take over the collision repair program. During my time there, we turned that program into one of the dumping grounds of the school to a nationally recognized, one of the top school at Lynn Tech. I decided to seek election to the school committee when I needed to return to my business on a full-time basis. Along with my colleagues, we looked at some of the decisions that were being made that negatively affected Tech and noticed that no one on the Lynn School Committee or in Lynn School Administration had any voc ed experience. We felt that those decisions reflected that void. I'm a locally and nationally recognized industry leader, and as a parent, a teacher, a business owner, and an industry leader, I believe that I bring a unique experience, an unmatched level of experience to the Lynn School Committee. I feel that my votes and positions taken over the last 22 months are what best reflect the students of Lynn, and I ask for your vote in November for re-election to the Lynn School Committee. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I want to first thank the Ford School, Dr. Crane. I want to thank the Highlands Coalition. I also want to thank our moderator, Cleo, tonight. And most of all, I want to thank each of you for taking the time to be here. My name's Charlie Gallo. I'm a candidate for the Lynn School Committee. And my philosophy is that all of our students deserve a quality education and that the future of our city requires that they all receive a quality education. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I'm an educator. I teach at North Shore Community College, and I think that that experience will provide a practical basis for some of the decision making and for some of the debate that will occur on the school committee. I come from a working family, was the first in my family to graduate from college, and then I went to law school, working during the day and going to law school at night. In addition to teaching, I also work now as an attorney and think that that experience will provide me with some insight with respect to the laws and regulations that are coming down and affecting our schools. One of the things that makes my candidacy a bit unique is my age. I'm 28 years old, and the trend right now is for young people, as they approach adulthood, to try and leave the city. The ones who are staying, young teachers and young coaches and others are doing a great job, but still many are moving out, and I'd like to provide leadership to reverse that trend, to give back to our community and to give back to our public schools. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is John Ford. I'd like to thank the Highland Coalition for this opportunity, and I would also like to commend the Highland Coalition for the great turnout tonight. David Gass sent an email today in which said, politics is power, and I think the people up in the Highlands are starting to realize that. I've been on the school committee for 10 years. I've been married for 45 years. I have 4 daughters. 2 graduated from classical and 2 from Lynn Tech. I've got 5 grandchildren. I'm a homeowner in Lynn since 1967. I worked for General Electric for 34 years. Over 30 years of that was in management. I've got a BS in sociology, a master's degree in education. I've got strong educational ties. 2 of my daughters are teachers, a 3rd is becoming a teacher. My cousin Phyllis O'Brien teaches at the Shoemaker School. My sister is the principal of Sacred Heart School, and this building right here was named after my uncle Robert Ford, who passed away. I serve as chairman of Building and Grounds Subcommittee, and I say that because when I first came on the committee, there was no money in the Building and Grounds budget line item. There was nothing in there. We weren't doing any repairs, windows, doors, or anything. I had Superintendent Croston put $500,000 in that account. It's been $500,000 since I've been there, and this year Mayor Kennedy just increased it to $900,000. I think it's very important that we maintain our buildings and keep them safe for our student population. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Vin Spirito, and I'm seeking the 3rd term on the Lynn School Committee. For those of you that don't know me, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have deep roots in the city of Lynn. My grandfather and grandmother came over from Italy at the turn of the century. Worked hard like most of you people are doing now. He opened a barbershop in Central Square, and 10 years later opened a second barbershop across from the St. Joseph's Church. My father was also in education as a principal in the city of Lynn at the Hood School and at the Avon School. I have lived in Lynn my entire life. I've been married for 42 years. I have 2 children. Both attended Lynn schools and graduated from Lynn schools. I have graduated from Boston State College with a BS in elementary education. I also graduated from Boston State College with a master's in elementary and administration. I have been involved in the Lynn School Department for 40 years as a teacher, as a principal, and as a school administrator. I have a sound understanding of how the system works, complete knowledge of policy and procedure. My primary concern during my tenure on the school committee has been safety, school achievement, and equity in all schools. Class size has also been an issue, and we have reduced class size this year. Thank you. I would like one of your votes, number 4 on the ballot.
Now we will begin the question and answer portion of the debate. The first question will be answered by Dolores DeFilippo, and we'll move to the candidate's right. The first question is as follows. If you could only include one goal or issue on the school committee's agenda, what would you include and why?
Thank you, Cleo. That is a great question. It's really difficult to pick one goal because I do have many that I would like to see happen. But one thing that I think is essential is that we need to have more teamwork and open communication on the school committee. And what I would like to see happen and establish are school leadership teams where we have a school committee member that is assigned to 4 or 5 particular schools in the district, along with parents in that school, students in that school, where they can come together and meet maybe monthly or bi-monthly and discuss their concerns, their issues, to develop a leadership program in each individual school, just like we have school improvement plans. I think it's essential to hear from the parents, the community, the students, the principals and teachers in each individual school. And then the school committee member will be able to come back and bring it to the team and work together collectively to try to figure out what would be the next step. So that's something that I would love to see happen. I think it would promote good governance and student success. So if we're all working together as a team, the school committee, parents, the community, and the students. Thank you.
Though I believe the biggest issue for the Lynn School Committee on a long-term basis is the necessity, the need to build a Marshall Middle School to improve the remainder of our schools in their physical appearance citywide. That is a need that I hope soon to happen and will come in the feasibility study, and the process will begin. But my goal, if I was asked for a number 1 goal, would be that the next term of this school committee comes to the table with goals. Without goals, there is no direction, there is no vision, and there is no plan of a whole on where the Lynn Public Schools will go starting in the year 2012. Though there'll be individual agendas, and though those individual agendas and ideas need to come to the table, we have a superintendents that have put in systemic goals. But we've never, as a full committee, taken those systemic goals, taken the goals on the committee, and ourselves formulated a package to deliver to parents, to the staff, to the community. So that's how I would like to see the 2012 year open, is with a full committee that is ready to work with individual goals coming together to service the students in Lynn. Thank you.
One of my goals is preschool. When I went to the preschool registration last winter, I saw 1,000 parents trying to sign up for 300 slots. It just wasn't fair. One of my goals is to open preschools in every school. Studies tell us that preschoolers have much more success in school than students that don't attend preschool. There's more success in school, less referrals to special education, and higher grades in school. There was a study done at the University of Chicago where they charted 1,000 students that attended preschool and 1,000 that didn't. The 1,000 students that did attend preschools had fewer arrests, better jobs, more attended college, more funded, more schools children found that they had a better influence on their families. Preschools in every school is not a cure-all for the Lynn Public Schools, but it does help.
There's really many issues: school safety, smaller class sizes, and the big one, more money. But I think if I have one real concern, it's ever diminishing classrooms. We had 500 new students last year, 600 new students this year. We're running out of classrooms. I've expressed concern in the other debates about our old and tired buildings. I think the need right now is for new buildings and serious work to improve our existing buildings. Marshall is currently in the pipeline. The state delegation has got us 80 cents on the dollar to rebuild Marshall Middle School, tear it down and build it brand new. There's also some talk about having redos done on Pickering and Tracy. The good news is in the Globe this weekend, President Obama identified a new school building plan. And hopefully through the efforts of our state delegation, we can get him to give some money to Lynn. We definitely have 5 or 6 buildings that are definitely in need of being replaced.
Thank you. The issue that I would include is funding. And the reason for that is because we need adequate funding to do so many things with our schools. I agree with Mr. Spirito about pre-kindergarten, and specifically I'm in favor of all-day quality pre-K for all students in Lynn. And I agree with Mr. Ford about our aging school buildings and the improvements that we need there. But to do either of those, it takes funding. It takes funding to have smaller class sizes, to have more teachers, to have support for parents, to have support for families, training for teachers and staff, and community school initiatives all take funding. Right now, we're in a very difficult economy, and I appreciate that raising funds through property taxes can hurt working families. So first and foremost, we need to take advantage of all sources of funding, and specifically to invest in grant writing. When it comes to the improvement of school buildings, we should be working with the Massachusetts School Building Authority to bring in state funds to repair and rebuild our schools. And additionally, school committee members should understand the importance of advocating for state funds. And as a school committee member, I would work to advocate for additional state funding for the Lynn Public Schools. Thank you.
Right now, approximately 10% of the Lynn school budget goes to support approximately 1% of the school population. And that 1% are those that are on outside placements. We spend over $10 million in tuition and transportation for just over 100 kids. In an effort to get some of those kids back into the system and save the city money, I would like to see us expand on special ed services to not only get some of those kids back, but to market to other communities that are in the same boat struggling to pay for these outside placements. We pay to send kids to Marblehead Public Schools on outside placements. And I had a meeting with the former superintendent of Marblehead, and I said, what could Marblehead possibly have to offer their special ed kids that Lynn, a city this size, can't offer itself? And he said, we recognized the problems that we had and the services we needed to provide, and we built systems and programs so that we could market to outside communities. He said communities like Lynn that send their kids to us are paying to run our programs that we're giving to our kids for free. This is Lynn. This is one of the largest communities in Massachusetts. with one of the largest sped populations. And we need to start doing this to bring these kids back in and to market to other communities to bring that money in as well.
My vision and my goal for the school system is to have a little more diversity. We have dropouts. We have in our school kids that they are not able to complete the high school, and even if they complete the high school, they cannot attend the college. So the question is, what is going on with those kids? What happened to those kids? Are they in the limbo? Are we paying attention? Those are the kids that later we see them involved in violence. So besides have a school that represents our students' population, we need also new buildings. And we have buildings right now that make us to feel sometimes like, is that the place that I want to send my kids? And to tell, it's something that we need to work, and we need to have a little goal for 5 years. What is going to be the next school that we're going to build? What is going to be, how can we attract teachers to represent our students' population? So those diversity in teachers is what we also need. And I hope that we can get in our school system, because most of the kids who drop out, they are kids who are minority. And right now, the kids in our school system, the minority are the majority. And we need to see, and they are our students, they are our people, they are our residents. Thank you.
For me, I think that the schools are really overcrowded right now, and I think that the school committee's long-term agenda needs to make goals of offering more choices for families in what we offer for schools. Parents right now, if they were looking for a school that's a K through 8, we don't have it. And I know that up here in the Highlands, you loved your K through 8. With your annex, and I would love to see that come back. Also, many of our schools and our families are interested in extended day programs. So as we branch out and try to find where do we put all these kids and what schools do we need to add on to what we have, or programs, I think we should be looking at that. You know, yes, where does the money come from, but how important it is to many families. Also, continue in other schools, your full community schools the way you have here. Also, preschool centers. Now's the time to look at preschool centers. Maybe they're separate from the schools, but they're around the city, so that we can have more preschoolers within and offer that. And this probably isn't a popular one, but you know, some families are interested in schools that might be, you know, an all-girls school, all-boys school, and cover the maths and sciences.
For the next question, we will begin with Mrs. Donna Coppola and move to the candidates' right. At previous debates, all of the candidates expressed support for community and innovation schools, but these types of schools can vary in the curriculum used and the programs and services offered. What is it specifically about community or innovation schools that you support, and what steps would you take in order to bring them to Lynn?
Okay, I'm passionate about this because I loved the K through 8 that you had at the Ford School. So I definitely support bringing back the K to 8-4 full community school. I'd like to see an innovative schools pushing the math and the sciences. I'm also very interested in us looking at the Horace Mann model of a charter. We have school, you know, groups that are always looking to start charters in the city. This would be charters that are still part of our Lynn school system. And it's still, teachers would be in the union, still be part of it. We would still have some say about it, but yet, you know, they would have more say in that school of what programs that they would have, or services, or a curriculum. And that way the money stays in the Lynn school system. And also, Lynn has lost a lot of money to charters. You know, there's a failed charter school, and we still have kids that go to charter schools, and that's money that leaves us. And it would take the burden, if on a K through 8 too, where it's so overcrowded, it would take the burden off of our middle schools. Thank you.
I do support the concept of innovative and community schools. Obviously, what's happening here at the Ford School is working for all of you out there. It's a wonderful asset that we have, and I'd love it to be expanded throughout our school district. I also had the opportunity to look at the Harrington and the Connery schools, which are level 4 schools that were taken over due to obvious issues, difficulty with their test scores and what have you that were happening there. What I would like to see in all of our schools is an opportunity of what's happening in the Connery and the Harrington. They have ample funding that's been supplied. They are starting multiple programs, and they're open long-term, and they're doing a lot with the families and communities in the area, very similar to what's happening here. However, they have ample funding for the next 5 years. One of my missions as a school committee member would be to push forward and look for funding, look to also have that happening in all of our schools, not just the Harrington and the Connery. Thank you.
I have said it before in other meetings that we have had. I do believe in community schools, but I also believe that all of our schools, K right through high school, have community models very active within their own schools. I have, as a school committee over several years, been invited to programs, been invited to classrooms, and been invited to events that have shown what a community is. But a community is what you want to make it. Ford has done a tremendous job believing in themselves. You have put forward the community that you feel fit for what you have for students and parents. And I believe that all schools are doing that. I have a packet here that would list, like you have, every activity, every piece of parent involvement, and every goal for their school. We have schools that are doing adult literacy at the elementary and at the high school level. We have math for adults in different programs. The community works, but I think the community needs to build the needs of the school, not the needs of your school, and that's what I support. I also do support the Innovation School, which we know is high on the superintendent's agenda. I like the Innovation School thought that she is presenting. She wants it to be a STEM school. In a STEM school is critical thinking for science, technology, engineering, and math. Thank you.
I too support the community schools. What I specifically like about community schools is their focus on educating the whole family and bringing out the knowledge of the school and the school's program to families of the children of Lynn. I can speak from personal experience. One of my 10-year assignments was principal at the Connery School during the 90s. We too had a community school, similar to a population such as here at the Ford School. We had problems getting parents to come in. So we met with our school improvement council and said, how can we get parents to come in? A lot of the parents are afraid to come in because, first of all, they don't speak the English and they're immigrant parents. So what we did is we opened a ESL class, a GED class, after-school programs, extended day programs, a computer program, and also we had health services coming into the school during the day for those parents in the area. At the Connery School and Harrington School right now, we have the Race to the Top money that's being put in there, and they have these after-school programs. They have after-school programs such as the one we have here at Ford School. With the assistance of the Lynn Community Health Center, we're also planning for 2 student-based health clinics at the Connery and the Harrington School, in addition to the 6 that are already in some of our schools.
I see the community school as the school of the future in Lynn. We are dealing right now in Lynn with a far more diverse and complex student population than we've ever dealt with before. This diversity brings many new issues to the Lynn school system. Many of these new families have no idea how a school system works, and the family must be educated as well as the student. This is where the community school becomes so important. It must now become the melting pot where many people and many ethnic backgrounds plus education come together. Community school is family oriented and must educate the whole family, not just the student. People allude a lot to the breakdown of societal breakdown attributed to the breakdown of the family. I see the future community schools as bringing the family back together. Thank you.
Thank you. I wholeheartedly support community and innovation schools. During the campaign, I've actually had a chance to talk to some young people who went to the Ford School and who got a great education here, but also a great educational experience. Specifically, I support partnerships. And here we have the NASA Explorer School. You see banners around the room here. We must prepare our students for the 21st century, and I believe in partnering with businesses, with nonprofits, with community leaders to do that. I also support the new programs. One of the other hats I wear is as a member of the City of Lynn's Community Development Board. And I remember a few years ago, David Gass, who's sitting here, coming before us for funding for the International Garden. And it was my honor at that time to vote to recommend funding for the garden. I was here a few weeks ago for the dedication of Harley Harrison's Hoop House and was just taken by how far along the garden's come. I support helping parents with GED programs, with English language and citizenship programs, and with job training in the schools during the nighttime. I think the first step, though, is that we really get the community involved, and that as school committee members, we're available to meet face-to-face with parents, with teachers, with neighbors, with members of the community, so that we can work together to improve our schools. Thank you.
As those of you that are involved with the Highland Coalition know, since I've been elected, I've spent quite a bit of time up here supporting the Ford School, the Highland Coalition, and the community school concept. In fact, the first few months of my time on the school committee was spent advocating up on Commercial Street with Dr. Crane on behalf of the community school concept. And I know the two ladies to my right have been heavily involved long before I was. With the partnerships that exist in this school, where Dr. Crane has reached out to the community colleges, to other organizations to come in and work with the kids. These are the type of partnerships that should exist throughout the city, and they should be duplicated. As I stated in the last debate, and was alluded to here earlier tonight, we are in the process of opening an innovation elementary school. Unfortunately, the person that was probably best to run that, and Barbara Kelly, is no longer here. I hope that we find somebody of her caliber. I also want to see, as I said earlier, an innovation middle school opened up, because currently there are no choices for our middle school students, and I'd like to see a STEM-based middle school program opened up, hopefully in a space currently occupied by Lynn School Administration, so that our kids do have choices from K through 12 in their education.
As you know, I am a member of the Highland Coalition from the beginning. And so it's telling you that I am part of the Highland Coalition and I support 100% community schools. Why I support community school is because it's that sense of ownership. It's that sense that like parents feel part of the solution, but not part of the problem. They feel like my kids going to that school and I can go to that school anytime. They feel like I can be informed about what is going on anytime without any problem. Parents feel welcome in the community schools. This school, as K-8, is a sense of what we mean community school. as the other candidate said, each neighborhood is different, but we need the school is part of our city. The school is supposed to be open all the time for services, GED, English as a second language, computer classes, whatever is needed in that specific community should be done. I believe in innovative school. Barbara Kelly is not here anymore, but maybe we have another Barbara Kelly right now in the Ford school, because really innovative school is important. More than anything else, is the extra time, extra hours that we provide to our students who need that extra curriculum. Thank you very much.